Don't worry, that was just the radio in my car. CBC Radio 2, 105.7. Give it a listen in Vancouver. Hello everyone, this is Take from bigheadtaco.com. I am in my car. I'm in Strathcona / Chinatown. I'm just kind of on the border. And I'm down here to do a vlogging video test of the Fujifilm X-T20 as well. So the kit is the X-T20, the XC16-50 kit lens. That there is one kit that comes with the X-T20, the XC16-50, and the Fujifilm X-STI or the ST1, I always forget. But that's the setup. It's a compact setup. I weighed it at 653 grams, I think, 653, and that doesn't include the little tripod, the mini Giotto's Q-Pod that I have on here, just for a little bit of an extension. So this is a pretty light kit for vlogging. Now some people use the smaller 1-inch sensor point and shoots for vlogging, and then you have the other extreme of guys using full-size DSLRs with decent wide-angle lenses for vlogging. I've been trying to use the Fujifilms for vlogging for a while, and to a certain amount of success. In general, the weaknesses I find, now not the weaknesses in the video, because I find that this new sensor and processor can handle video pretty good, and you've seen some of my video tests using the X Pro 2 and the X-T2, but the problem is with autofocus tracking of the subject, because, you know, because as I'm recording, I can't see myself while I'm vlogging. Now, if I had this on a tripod and I had the wireless remote and I could see right on my phone what's happening, but I can't see exposure, I can't see if it's staying in focus or not. And as well, optical image stabilization. I find that the Canons do a much better job. So I've never fully used a Fuji for vlogging, but this probably has the most potential only because it is much smaller and lighter than the X-T2. And so another advantage of using the Fujifilms, their standard shotgun microphone, is that it comes standard with a 2.5mm jack, where most I shouldn't say real, because real audio input should be using the XLR, but for someone like a vlogger who's using like the Rode microphones or some of the Sennheiser ones, typically it's a 3.5mm. Most of the Fujis have the 2.5, the exception being the X-T2, and so hopefully that is going to be the future. And as I say that, the X-T20 has the 2.5, so I think the X-T2, they are really trying to push it as a pro video option for those that want to use it for video. So they are trying their best to use their cameras for video. So the X-T20 I think is a good option, except for the few weaknesses that I mentioned of not having a forward-facing articulating screen, so you can actually see yourself, to see if you're in focus, to see if the exposure is correct, to see if your framing is correct. You just don't get that with this. So I can live with that, but as well AF and optical image stabilization. So I'm gonna take this out. I am here testing the X100F. I only got it last week Friday. Unlike a lot of the X photographers that have been shooting with it for a month or two, I've only had it for, today is, yeah, so just over a week I've had it. So, and I've been busy posting videos and posting articles, so today's a big day for me to test this. And so while I'm testing this, I thought I would test this camera for video. And so I have this on f4, so I picked it in aperture priority. It tended to be underexposing in here because I guess there's lots of bright light coming in from the window, so I had to do +1 exposure compensation. So that's already kind of one of the things about this. It tends to, I find that the Fujis, without being able to see and you're trusting 100% on the auto exposure, you need to look first, do a quick 5 to 10 second video clip to make sure the exposure is correct, and then switch back when the lighting is uneven. But when the lighting is even, we'll see. It should do a decent job, so let's get out there and start shooting. I think one of the hallmark tests of a vlogging camera is to put everything in auto. So the X-T20 has that full auto mode you can switch to, so this is auto video. And one of the hallmark tests is to like not touch anything, just go into full audio, start recording video. I'm outdoors, I'm going in and out of shadows. So this is probably one of the harshest tests to test for video. The audio should be reasonably consistent. This is a decent, it's not the best, but it's a decent shotgun microphone. I'm walking in through an alley here, and as I mentioned, so here we go. So quickly change of the exposure here. So let's just see how the camera handles it. And this is the X100F. So I guess this is can be like kind of a how-to street photography. The light's really harsh. You can sort of see how the lighting is there. It's still a little bit harsh, but the angle is low, so you're getting kind of these here. I mean, this is not the best example, but you see that garbage can there, right? So you're getting these kind of long-ish shadows, so that's pretty good for dramatic lighting. And walking into Chinatown, so let's just see how this camera's handling. I'm not sure if I mentioned it when I was in the car. I might have not mentioned it, but Fujifilm on the X-T20 and the X100F, they've all switched the video start and stop button to the shutter button, and that's the biggest complaint I've had, not just with Fuji but with Canon and with Sony's, is that they always had that funny little goofy red inset button that you know, it's very hard to press start stop. And some of the cameras like the Sony RX100 series, the button's in the back, and so you can't even see to start and stop. For vloggers it's horrible because you always have to kind of, you know, flip around like that to start and stop. This now, the X-T20, as the other I mentioned, as long as you're in video mode and you're in drive, so through the drive mode dial, which on the X-T20 is right on the top, so you know right away, I can just look and see that I'm in video mode. That I just gotta press the shutter button, which is really easy because, you know, you can't, like I said, you can't see the screen, you can't see anything, so it's nice to be able to just grab it and turn it off. And so that's one of the great features. The lighting is really kind of cool. You can see that there. I don't know how well the auto exposure can handle that lighting, but just walking through again, let's just see how it handles the shadows. I love this old house. It's worth over, from what I hear, it's like it's worth in the millions, just because of where it's at. But let's just see if how quickly the autofocus can adjust there. But I've taken lots of pictures of that. So let's I'm gonna just take some shots with the X100F and then keep moving. So one of the things, you know, this is more about a street photography thing, is that I'll do a bit of B-roll, but this area here, the way the light is hitting everything, it's just so beautiful with the long shadows that maybe this won't make for a good video here, but because of it, I've just been going back and forth walking and just trying to hit the right point where people are crossing, and then I could get some good shots. So I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit, and then I'm gonna just keep on going. So let's just see what happens. Alright everyone, I am now in, as I call, Graffiti Alley here, just north of Hastings, between, I forgot the two side streets, probably Canby on one side and Richards on the other. And I'm just, it's my first day out using the Fujifilm X-T20 as a vlogging camera. And so far, again, it's hard to tell until I get home to see how this was able to stabilize the image, to be able to track focus on my face. One of the things I discovered was that if your camera in video mode, the touch screen does work as a, you could start and stop. You can't stop, you could start it by just touching on the screen where you want it to start, but then to stop it, I'm gonna just do it right now. So I'm on the other side here. It is. Now what it is supposed to do is, and it's hard to do as a vlogging camera, but as people shift and you could tell that the focus is wandering, that you can actually then press the on the screen and it will focus on where you're pressing, so you can do some pull focusing. Now that'll have to be a separate test, and it's more of a video test than a vlogging test. So this is different in that I am in auto, so I'm allowing the camera to pick everything for me, where if you're using this as a serious video camera, then you will set the proper shutter speed based on the frame rate, the FPS that you're shooting at. So right now, I don't even know what the camera defaults to. I did set it for 60 frames per second for vlogging. So at 60 frames per second, I should be shooting at 1/20th of a second shutter speed. And aperture-wise, f4 to f5.6, f8, and then probably at ISO 3200 to 1600 in this type of now I'm in the shadows here, the sun is just setting. It looks like blue hour, but it is not, because if you look up there, see if the exposure will change here, but there you go. So you could see that it's still, you can see that it's still like the sun is setting, but because this is downtown and we're between buildings, so that's it for now. But this is day one testing using the Fujifilm X-T20 with the XC16 to 50 and the video, the shotgun microphone from Fuji, the Mic ST1, STI. And I'm still testing the X100F. So we'll talk to you soon.